Hello, I'm Michael Walsh, and today I'm going to tell you about the origin of the English language. I chose this topic because I speak English. The origin of the English language is important to know because it teaches you about your roots and how your society came to be. Hold on to your hats, folks. You're in for a bumpy ride. English is one of the most widely spoken languages on the face of the earth. So much so that it is an international language of science and medicine. It is so heavily used that passenger airplane pilots must speak it due to international treaty. Now let's get into where it came from. It all started with the Angles, the Saxons, and the Jutes. For clarification, I'm not referring to geometric angles, saxophones, or Jews. The Angles, Saxons, and Jutes were Germanic tribes who invaded Britain during the 5th century AD. As the tribes invaded, they encountered the Celts, or the Celts, who had been living in Britain for thousands of years. For clarification, I am not referring to the Boston Celtics. The invading tribes and the native people did not get along, and so they fought brutally. The outcome was not good for the Celts. They lost. They suck. Over time, the language of the Angles, Saxons, and Jutes blended together to form Old English. We can't understand it. It sucks. And then we had Middle English, a combination of Old English and French. It sucks too. Middle English was a product of William the Conqueror, the Duke of Normandy, conquering Britain in the year 1066, as well as the invasions of the Vikings from Norway, Denmark, and Sweden years earlier. Middle English lasted until about the 1500s. In the 1500s, there was a shift in pronunciation known as the Great Vowel Shift. At this point, vowel sounds began being pronounced much shorter. The language that came to be by this time up until the 1800s became known as Early Modern English. The form of English we speak today is known as Late Modern English. Late Modern English sounds very similar to Early Modern English, but is more accessible due to the invention of the printing press and the growing popularity of books that led to better education and literacy skills. Late Modern English doesn't suck. That's the history of English for you. You know, I really learned a lot about my culture and my society while conducting this video. And I think it's very important to learn about your own society and to know your roots, you know? After watching this video, I hope you can go home and say to your friends and your family proudly, I know the history of English, because English is important. We all speak it. It's how we communicate. That's crazy. Good day to you all. Catch you on the flip side.